called carved pumpkin. And the man who's going to help me do it is Ernie. How are you, Ernie?
How you doing? I'm just fine.
And how did you become the greatest pumpkin carver on the face of the earth?
By trial and error. I just love carving pumpkins. It's a great hobby of mine for 10 years, and I just designed it and I got it made. I got it how to save a pumpkin for 45 days now.
Great. And how do you choose the perfect pumpkin for carving? Because not all pumpkins are created equal.
No, they're not. They're all different. How you choose a pumpkin would be the course of the skin. It's not rigid, valleyed, smooth. So you carve a pumpkin. Now this is the bad pumpkin here. I got an example here. This is real rough carving here. Pumpkin you don't want to carve. This is called the strawberry, I would call them. So you don't want to carve something like that because it's hard and it's hard on the fingers. So a smooth pumpkin like this is the great pumpkin to carve.
Yeah.
And this is the first thing we do. We put the template on the pumpkin. Tape it on there.
So that's the original design that will be on the pumpkin when it's carved?
Yes it was. It'd be just like that because I do is tattoo it. Then we bring out the old tool.
Ooh, that looks scary.
That is called a pumpkin tattoo machine. And we just go along, outline it, just like this. It's a needle going in and out, like a little tattoo machine.
And where do you get all of your tools?
I make usually all my tools. See, right now we're done with the pattern. Now if we take the pattern off, you'd be amazed what that little tattoo machine does. Exactly.
You have to have a steady hand for that, don't you?
Yes, you do. You have to have a lot of practice for that. Then we smooth it out. It's a bleeder. We call them a bleeder. So then we get our tool. It's called the gouger. And it's very nice. Goes with the tool.
How many years have you been doing this?
I've been doing it for 10 years in Paul's Pumpkin Patch. He let me in 10 years ago. And I've been carving ever since. I do about 400 a year. And the most I ever did in a day would be 65 pumpkins.
Wow, that should be a world record.
It could be, but I don't know. I was just having fun. That's the whole part about carving pumpkins, is having fun. We call them noodles. We're trying to make noodles. This is called a noodle. The gouger's friend, scraper. Scrapes all where you want to highlight the pumpkin. So it brings out the pumpkin. So you can see it. Now if you don't carve it out like this to highlight it, you won't be able to see the pumpkin. That's why in some cases I do paint pumpkins. They do look good painted. But I really do like them natural. So right now I'm taking the skin off. Once you take the skin off, you're going to get 3-4 days out of it because it's going to get oxygen in it. Once oxygen hits the pumpkin, you're going to have black hairy mold. My pumpkins don't do that. My pumpkins are reskinned with lacquer. Once you take the skin off, you place it with lacquer and it coats it. Seals it from the oxygen. Because oxygen and pumpkins don't get along. They get the mold. And everybody doesn't carve no more for one reason why, because they mold in less than 5 days. These pumpkins I carve here were not mold in 5 days. They last 45 days to 4 months.
Did you ever take art class?
I've never took an art class. One day I looked at a pumpkin and I started carving it and I kind of enjoyed it. And the following year when the Angels won the World Series, I wanted to paint my pumpkin, make it shiny, so I lacquered it. And that's when I stumbled over the skin trip of saving your pumpkin. Because I carved it and I lacquered it and it was a shiny pumpkin. But the mold never showed up for a week. Didn't show up for a month. We're done. Oh, much better.
Wow. Is there a difference between a pumpkin and a not pumpkin?
What was that again?
Is there a difference between a pumpkin and then a gourd? If you could.
Years ago, when they started carving pumpkins, that they carved pumpkin, and a gourd is not carvable. It's only decoration. Now here's the trick on saving your pumpkin. The skin's off. All we do is replace the skin with a coat of lacquer. And it's very hard to photograph a pumpkin after it's lacquered. It's so shiny. But all you do is let it sit there for a good 4 hours, let it sit and settle and seal up the wound. It's wounded right now. All I did is replenish the skin. No oxygen will replenish that, so you won't have no black hairy moles. You would have an excessive 21st century pumpkin, I call them, because you can enjoy them for 45 days to 4 months. And it's a wonderful thing.
Tremendous job, Ernie.
Thank you.
It's really nice seeing you again.
Thank
When
you very
and
much.
where can people find you?
You can find me at 6701 East, PCH in Long Beach, and at Paul's Pumpkin Patch.
Thanks again, Ernie. It was really
Thank
nice
you.
to see you.
See you again. Thank
And
you.
now you know how to carve a pumpkin. I'm Kira Wojtas wishing you a happy Halloween.